Alright guys, so today's video is going to be a really quick one and quite a fun one as well. So we're going to talk about the modifications that I've actually made to my M140i. First of all, the modifications I've made were designed to be subtle and not like make a huge difference, but actually when you add them up together, they do make a big difference actually. And I've still got another modification that I'm saving up for and hopefully going to do in the future. So yeah, the first one is the eye-back lowering springs. So I went for the Motec eye-back lowering springs, which are 25mm at the front and 20 at the back. Now that is a specific specification for Motec. You can't get that spec of eye-back lowering springs for the 140 anywhere else. They've also got a slightly different paint code as well, so they're a little bit unique, but they're a nice drop. You know, you still get that rake look, and you know, the normal eye-back Pro kit, I think it is I believe 20 millimeters at the front and 15 at the back. You know, and I think this is just the sweet spot really. And to complement that, I went with some spacers as well. So I went for 12mm at the front and 15 at the back. That's actually Motec's specification, designed to go with those eye-back springs. Obviously you can get their new Motec ones, which are a little bit lower, but at the time they weren't available. But yeah, they've sort of designed this sort of specification. I think it works really well. Again, it's subtle. The make of spacers are eye-back. I wanted to go with eye-back because I wanted to keep it one brand and I wanted to keep it reliable as well. Like spacers, they're you know, you're connecting the wheel to the spacer, then to the hub. That sits in between the wheel. If you're going to do that, you want to use high quality parts and not go cheap. So I went for the eye-back ones. They were expensive, I'm not going to lie, but yeah, I'm not going to go cheap on stuff like that. Yeah, so the springs and spacers, really like that drop. I think it looks fantastic. It doesn't look too low, so you know, when people look at it, they probably think, has it been lowered? I'm not sure. Is that how they come out the factory? That's exactly what I want people to think. I don't want it to look like it's been slammed. You know, it's a nice drop, OEM plus, and the spacers actually, wow, yeah, having that wider track. It's not a lot, but you know, it does make a difference. Not, yeah, granted, not a huge amount of difference, but you feel it in the steering wheel. You just get a little bit less body roll, and the car just feels taut. That's a nice modification, that. Yeah, so that's the first two modifications. The third one I did was, believe it or not, this is a BMW retrofit, and that is the underbody brace. For some reason, BMW put that on the M235i's and the M240i's as standard, but take it off the 1 Series. I think they do that sort of, I don't know, perhaps make the 2 Series feel better than the 1 Series, because it is technically higher in the categories, if that makes sense. But yeah, BMW offer that as a retrofit, and I believe that was around £180 to £200 to get BMW to fit that. And wow, what a difference that made. Before this was, I actually did the underbody brace was before I did the springs and the spacers. So before the underbody brace, the car felt very wobbly at the back end. It didn't feel connected. So if you're powering out of a corner, the back end would kind of move a little bit, and it just didn't feel tight. That underbody brace, guys, seriously made a huge difference. As soon as I took it for a drive after it was fitted, I was like, what? Like, it just feels nice and stable at the back end when you're powering out of a corner. That is honestly a fantastic mod, and I'd highly recommend you do that. And in fact, I'd make that the first mod, unless you've got loads of money and you can afford to do a diff, which we're going to talk about later. But yeah, I would do that first. So yeah, spacers after that, then the springs. Then I did the Remus exhaust. Now, this one doesn't make a difference to power at all, okay? Because it's a catback slip-on exhaust. But for me, I just wanted a little bit more sound. The 140s are very, very refined and very soft sounding, which, you know what, for some people that's good. Some people like that subtlety and want a quiet car that's fast. For me, you know, I wanted it to be a bit more M car, and you know, M cars do sound, even stock, sound very loud out the factory, in my opinion, and not just loud, but you know, the tone is much more raspy and aggressive. And the Remus, yeah, the Remus carbon tips, exhausts, yeah, I got that fitted at Motec as well. And yeah, that is just, that puts a smile on my face every time I drive it, because it sounds so good. The great thing about it is because it's valved, it uses the B&W actuated valve as stock. So in comfort mode, it's nice and quiet and refined. It doesn't really drone much. You know it's there. If you've got the accelerator on just a little bit, you can hear there's something there, but it's not a problem for me. But yeah, once you put it in sports, it's just beautiful. It's it's a great sound. So yeah, that's what I did. So have we got anything else to talk about? Oh, I also did the what's it called? Sorry, the strut brace. That's what it is. Yeah, it's the Ultra Racing strut brace. I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I just did that because it looks cool. You know, my car's white and that's white as well. And I thought, you know what? I've done the underbody brace. Let's do the top strut brace as well, just for good measure. I don't know if it makes a difference. I can't really tell, but it looks cool. So yeah, I did that one as well. Any other mods? Oh, and I've done a K&N panel filter as well. I've always run K&N panel filters in all my cars because they are, they utilise the stock airbox, and they do let a little bit more air in. There's a few people out there that don't like them because they seem to think that they play havoc with the MAF sensors. And I'm going to tell you now, they do not. But, and this is a big but, if you serve, those K&N filters are designed to be serviced yourself by getting the K&N cleaning pack, which consists of a degreaser and the red oil that they come with from factory. And I've done a few of these myself on my my other car, my 330. And the first time I did it, I over-oiled it. So I literally went mental with the oil. And unfortunately, yes, after 6 months, I had to replace the MAF sensor. But that was the original MAF sensor. So I don't know if that oil had anything to do with it, but I put way too much oil on. So when you are servicing these K&N filters, just make sure you don't go mental with the oil, okay? There's plenty of videos online that can show you how to do them, but just go really careful with the oil. I might actually do a video of how to service them. So if you want, if you're interested in that, leave us a comment and I'll do that, because yeah, I can service the one on my 330. It probably needs it by now anyway, and I've got the kit. So yeah, that is literally all the mods I've done, and I think for me, they are a real great bunch of mods that make the car a bit more special, Yeah, the next mod I want to do is definitely the LSD. It's the honest reason for not doing it just yet is money. It's so expensive on the 1 Series. We're talking around between 2,300 to 2,500 fitted. It's a lot of money to spend. But I've got a Quaife limited slip diff on my 330, and that was a little bit cheaper because they have a different, I don't know about the engineering of it, but it's something to do with the crown pin or something. It's a little bit easier to manufacture, and it made a huge difference. I could not live without that LSD. If I was to take it off the car, I wouldn't want the car anymore. It's that good. So yeah, that is something I would do in the future. But there we go, guys. That's a little video on the modifications I've done to my 1 Series. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.